Hello, welcome to Ephemera Files by Tommy, and this is my flip through of my Reader's Digest challenge that I'm doing with Dear Julie Julie, and this is the Marching into March Reader's Digest Junk Journal Challenge, and I will link her below and the information about that. And this book is called Poppy because that is the theme of the book, is Poppy or Poppies, and Julie has a lovely digital that is called Poppy or Poppies in her shop. I will link her shop and directly to that digital as well. This turned out really fat. I mean, even fatter than my journals normally do. And I don't know why. I think that I just kept wanting to do things. So it is the regular size of a Reader's Digest, which is, I think, 7.5, but I'll get my ruler out just to make sure. It's actually 8 by 5.5. And I'm not even going to give you the side measurement. The spine, I think, is 1.5, 1 3/4. All of this stuff can come out as usual. Let's see, let's start off with the tassel, which I have attached via a bulldog clip. I'm going to set this here. The tassel will come off. And I've just used a jump ring on a metal piece here, a round metal piece. And I have made a tassel out of what I had left over of some of the pieces that I used in the journal, mostly lace. I have this paper butterfly that I've actually attached with a bulb pin. So I just went around its little body and through the top of the tassel with the bulb pin. So that's removable. I have on this bulb pin, this is from Book Page, from the Reader's Digest. And I saw a video, and I'll link it below, of a lady who folded some circles and made a flower out of them. And I thought that was pretty cool. And so I did that, and then I sealed it in both sides with embossing glaze. And then down here I have a bead made from a Book Page, or from Dear Julie Julie digital. And it was long and skinny. And so I tore the edges and rolled it around one of these pins that you use for jewelry making, and I glued it, and then I embossed it, and I think it turned out pretty cool. I liked it a lot. All right, so there is the tassel. Set that over here. Let's see. I just covered the book, the books that are included in the Reader's Digest originally, and I did it this way because this is covering the inside where I sewed in the hidden signature binding, and I wrapped that around. So I just added that for some continuity. On the cover, oops, I've got things falling out now. I'll put those back in when I get to that page because it's not meant to be held that way. For the cover, let's see if I can do this. I'm going to set this down like that, and then I'll bring the camera in a little bit. All right, this is a multi-layered base. I have some chipboard that I covered with tissue paper that then I added, let's see, switch out my glasses so I can see. Why am I always like 3 minutes into the video before I forget that I've not changed my glasses? Let's see, layered on the tissue covered chipboard is antique sheet music, and then Book Page from the Reader's Digest. And this is a Dear Julie Julie digital, and how I did this, I don't know if you can see, but it's hard. It's covered with Mod Podge dimensional, let's see, Mod Podge dimensional magic. And what I did before I did that, because I knew that the Mod Podge would make the ink run, I covered it with packing tape after I splattered it with some Spectrum Noir in Onyx Black. That's those little splatters that you see on there. However, I forgot to cover the back of it with packing tape, and so the ink still ran a little bit, but it actually just makes it look older. And I think that it looks pretty cool. I've added this paper butterfly and a Tim Holtz, what does he call those? I don't know. It's one of the metallic labels, and it says, just remember, a beautiful thing is never perfect. And that's just a gentle reminder that as we go through this journal, it's not going to be perfect. All right, so we open it up, and inside this first pocket here is where those go. Am I centered? I'm going to scoot over this way a little bit for my pile. Let's see, I think that works. Oops. Okay. All right, so here in the front, I made an Ex Libris pocket out of the end page that was in the book here. And it's just layered with fabric and ribbon and book page and a digital and a digital. And it's a double pocket. And this is book page back here too. And so I've got a journaling card right there. As usual, I'm going to stack my things over here, and you'll see that the book really isn't that fat. Let's see, and then I have a journaling tag. And I've used map and sheet music and book page and sewing pattern tissue and fabric and ink and all kinds of stuff on there. This is an illustration from the book. And I don't know if I can get that to show on camera, but I went through right here the picture of the castle ruins with this scrapbook.com pen that is a poppy red. And I just made poppies in the field all through there. And I don't know that it's going to show up at all. If I can get a good picture of it, I will add it right here. And it's got 3 signatures, and each signature has this scrapbook paper on it. These are from a gardening book that I had, and I've just backed it with some graph paper for journaling. There are, I think, 6 of these total in the book, I think. And then here's the ink pen, and I thought that that was a pretty pink poppy color that matched that really well. Got some stenciling on my graph paper. This is a Dad's Bank envelope, and in here I do have an antique or very old vintage calling card. That's a real one. And then on the inside, I have an altered tag, the tissue paper and music and lace, and a Dear Julie Julie digital, writing space on the back. I have lined this with some washi tape, and this, it's not really a tab, it's just a support to keep that on there. But on the back, it forms a belly band, and I've got a large tag. I think that's up too far for me to get things out of the top very well. That has dictionary page and book page and tissue. That's this is one of the ghost tissues. It's the second layer of a napkin, which lots of times you can still use because it's got just a little bit of color. You can faintly see some poppies in different spots. This is a Tim Holtz clip. A lot of people don't like these because they feel like it leaves marks. Yes, it leaves some marks, but it's also easier to use if you open it up and then close it on the thing that you're going to use it on. And then there's journaling space on the back with some ledger paper. This is a Dear Julie Julie digital page. This is, oh goodness, I forgot to put something in there. We'll just put this one. It's been inspected and approved. I'll just tuck that up in there. There we go. And that forms a pocket, a top pocket, because I've glued down 3 sides. That makes it a pocket. And then the bulldog clip helps hold the envelope top closed. And I have a doily and music, book page, Dear Julie Julie digital, splatter ink, and then a journaling card that I have stamped. And it's got book page and music page and space for writing on the back. These are avocado dyed papers. They've got like a lace print on them, lacy. This is a tuck because it's only two sides. A tuck for me, this is a corner tuck, has two sides, and a regular tuck has one side. That's how I differentiate between the pockets and the tucks. And it's got book page and pops of color and a ribbon that I've done one of Julie's ribbon tying techniques. And inside the cameo, excuse me, you can see more book page. And I again did the packing tape, and I think on this one I used glossy accents. It dries a little thinner than what on the Mod Podge Dimensional Magic. Glossy accents dries flatter. And then this is a vintage postcard. I do not have a year on it, but it's for Miss Bessie Hommel, Needham, Indiana. No street address or zip code or anything. I know it's old. And it says, Dear cousin, I will send you a postal. I am going to school. How is all the folks? We are all well. From Edna to Bessie H. And then in the language of flowers, poppy means I dream of thee. And I think that's what that says. I dream of thee. I'm excited to get to use a lot of the vintage things that I have. It's been a while since I've used a lot of them. This is from a paper pad. This paper pad I bought on Amazon, and I will link to this below. And you'll notice on a lot of them I have torn the cover, the side of it, just because I like the torn edges and I feel like it makes it a little bit of a layer there. You know, the divine is in the details. Here in this book clip, paper clip, altered paper clip, I have a tag. It's got stenciling and book page, little bit of lace, Julie Digital, and splattering, and then writing space on the back and some washi tape. Open this, or turn this page, and this paper clip is book page and digital and splattering and ink. And it's holding this envelope flap closed. And inside this envelope, I've just added some, these are just some sheet music ephemera that I also got, I think, on Amazon, but I'm not sure. If I can find out for sure, I will link to that below. This is a dictionary page that I've covered with the tissue paper. This is from a 1922 magazine, the People's Home Journal for May. And I tore it out, and then in her hand she had a bar of soap, and instead I took one of Julie's little digitals, and it had a purple ribbon on it, so I added some purple embroidery floss right there. Here I have some of my ledger paper, and I've got book page that is backing this. This, I think, oh, let's see. I have digitals from, in addition to Julie's, I have digitals from Nevermore Creations, Graphics Fairy, and the New York Public Library public domain image site. And I will share links to all of those in the description. I think that that's a Graphics Fairy. And this flips open, got some washi tape there. This is a Dear Julie Julie digital, as is this. More avocado dyed paper. This I made in a previous video that I can link below, and I thought it just made a really cool tab because you can see through it on both sides. So it is a corner tuck tab. And then I have this, which is from Nevermore Creations. Pretty sure. Book page, and it's backed on a piece of cardstock that I have stamped and stenciled, and then I have music and book page and a Dear Julie Julie digital. Here's the center of the first signature, and on the signature ties I just punched out little circles out of the scraps that I had from making this. Again, the torn corner on there. Avocado paper, Dear Julie, Julie Digital. I have a little pocket here. That's the bottom part of this digital. I think this is the New York Public Library public domain image site. Here I have a tag, and I've got graph paper and book page and the Dear Julie, Julie Digital. This is also one of her digitals, and I have used glossy accents on it as well. And it's dimensional. It curled up on me because I put too much on there. Let's see, can you see that that's curling up? Kind of. Yeah, I think. This is Tim Holtz clippings sticker. It says Love and Abundance. And on the back is graph paper, and it's got some tiny attacher staples. There's the image. It's on the graph paper or ledger paper. Got a little bit of washi right there. And then I have this coin envelope. This is a scrap from this paper pad. And then I've got sewing pattern tissue and Dear Julie, Julie and book page and a sticker from Happy Planner Deep Botanicals. And I'll link that below too. And then you turn it over, and this is also from that sticker book. It has also been stamped with the stencil and sheet music. And I've got lining the lid, more of the tissue pattern tissue paper. This is from a birthday card that I cut into several pieces that had poppies on it. Here's the other side of the dictionary paper. I've added some scrap. It's not scrapbook paper. This is from a big set of paper you get on Amazon. That is in my Amazon favorites list, which is always linked. Let's see. More of the scrapbook paper. This is, oh, I don't remember which thing from the challenge that it is. But it is a flip, I think, or a waterfall, one or the other. This is a digital from Dear Julie, Julie, and I just did one of her ribbon techniques because there was a ribbon that went across and tied in a bow. And so I took some green lace and did that, backed it on some book page with some grungy tissue paper from being a backing. You can see a little bit of blue in there. I've got washi tape up there. And then I've got different papers. There's one of my guest check papers. And that is clipped onto this page that is covered with sewing pattern tissue. This is scrapbook paper. It is a dried gypsophila, however you say that little dried flower. And I put it under masking tape on top of this stenciled envelope flap. And then I took a little bit of green ink and ran over that with my finger, and then a little bit of the pink ink and ran over the flowers with my finger. I think it turned out really cute. Here's the other side of that envelope. I've given a little bit of writing space here in that tissue paper and dictionary page. And inside, you flip this up and it's lined with dictionary page. And then I have another of my vintage or antique postcards. Let's see. 1912. And that's the original stamp right there. Let's see. Yep, I showed you that. In here, I have, this is a pocket, and I just have a journaling card with book page and a sticker and a Dear Julie, Julie digital backed on a piece of cardstock, and it's inked around. This bulldog clip is holding this closed. It is a, I think this is my flip up, flip down, yes. And I've got tissue paper and book page and graph paper and inking and a stamp. That's my stamp. I covered up the one that was on there. And the Dear Julie, Julie digital. This is a different book page, but I liked the numbers and the words. Words that say what you mean. I like that. Setting pictures to music. Trying your hand at poetry. There's some washi tape and ink. And that's the last page of the first signature. And here's another vintage postcard. This one says poppy means consolation. And as full-blown poppies, overcharged with rain, decline the head and drooping, kiss the plains, so sinks the youth. Well, that's kind of sad. And it was glued into a scrapbook, obviously. And this is from 1910. Second signature, we have another of the poppy cards. Oh, and I didn't cover the back of that. So I will cover the back of that before this goes to its recipient with some writing paper. Let's see, on this side, I have a top or corner, is this a tuck? I can't remember. And I used one of Julie's techniques with the ribbons. There is book page back there, and this is one of her digitals. I used some gold marker to create a frame. And of course it's inked. And then I have a journaling card, a folding up journaling card in there. A little bit of the lace down there because of the white center that's between the two pictures of the book page. I did not get it I didn't get it folded correctly, and so it showed. Right here's a little sneaky peek of a butterfly because he wraps around the page to this one, which I've just layered some different graph papers, or not graph papers, ledger papers, and then two more butterflies. More of the scrapbook paper, avocado paper, digital from Julie. See, I had to do it on that side of another paper. That's just a little tiny strip of a Dear Julie digital, but it worked. See, sometimes it's a good thing I save all my silly little scraps. All of the dragonflies in here have Spectrum, no, Wink of Stella from scrapbook.com on their wings. This is from my coffee table book, and it is a painting called Taos Poppies. It's by Zetta Jones. Anytime I use something from that book, I cut out the portion that gives information about the painting because I feel like it needs to be together. Have a little whale tail tab up here out of sheet music. And I have a pocket here. Think that this is a New York Public Library image. Dear Julie image. This is book page that I have stamped on with the stencil. More music. This is the wraparound. This is a note paper, and I've inked it all up. Inked all of it. There we go. Here I used one of my corner punches, like I said, just to make a layer because, see, I like the image that we have the punch and then the paper and then the lace and then the avocado paper back here that actually this is a pocket. You got this little girl peeking out here. I just like it when everything looks good like that. Here I have a time card being held on with this little Tim Holtz, I think it's just called a tiny paper clip. This is one of the ghost layers of a napkin. And I just wrapped it all around the envelope. Inside the envelope, I have a collage with washi and the tissue, the napkin, Dear Julie digitals, and some messy thread along with inking. And inside this pocket, you gotta be careful not to pinch the card over here, is another of the book page cards, journaling cards that I've added paper to in the back. And then here's a journaling card being held on with a bulldog paper clip. I've got book page and splatter and ink and some ledger paper and stenciling on here. I wrapped the numbers around this side. I liked how that looked. Did one of my disturbed corners. I don't know if that's actually what they're called. That's what I call them because they're disturbed. Here's the coloring page. These are poppies. And I've got the little circles again on the signature ties. Added a little lace on this side again for the layering. Here's a pocket, and this is a vintage card with an illustration by Hummel. I did nothing to it because it is, like I said, it's vintage. Let's see, do I have a year on it? I do not. I do not. But she's got little poppies right there. I thought that was really, really nice. And this pocket is layered on some ledger paper. It's got splatter and ink and book page and the Dear Julie Julie digital and washi, and it flips open for more writing space because it just tucks behind that petal right there that I trimmed out of the digital. Another scrapbook page. Here's an envelope that's got music and tissue paper and lace on it, and I'm going to show you this real quick. This is the spine from inside the book, and I just thought that it was too cool not to do something with, so I backed it on some heavy chipboard, inked just the back of it and the little edges here, and did nothing else. I thought that that was a really cool idea. All right, this ledger paper folds down. I folded this corner because when you fold up like this, sometimes you get a hitch in your get along. And so if you do that, then you kind of avoid that issue happening. Here I have a double tuck on this envelope, 2 little journaling cards. This is book page and stenciling and tissue paper and lace. And inside here is a journaling card. This is from a piece of trash, and I just really liked the texture on it. It just feels really cool. And I used my postage stamp scissors on the edges of the digital with that little piece of lace to help pull it out of the pocket. That flips over. This is scrapbook paper. And it wraps, let's see, does it wrap around? No, that's a scrap that I had. So I just put it in there to, let's see, I don't know, to do something. Maybe to strengthen that edge of the page or just give it a little picture, I don't know. I have a little collage here of book page and sheet music paper and the Dear Julie Julie digital and some lace and the Tim Holtz clippings. And inside this double tuck, I got 2 double tucks out of one envelope. I thought that was pretty cool. I have these 2 tags. Because see, I've got this double tuck on this side and then a double tuck on that side. Double duty double tuck. Ha! There you go, Julie. You can use that term. I'll let you. Double duty double tuck. Let's see. That keeps sticking. So I'm just going to have to do something. Oh, I see what it is. I'll take care of that. I'll just get that glue off of there. Here I've made a pocket and I've got vintage sheet music or antique. I don't know. It's over 100 years old, so it's going to be antique. And book page and some lace that wraps around this digital, creates a pocket, and this says, I'm off to join her. I have taken, this was one of the tall tags, and I just folded it up into a little envelope. This is from the book, and this is from the book. And I've used washi, 2 different kinds of washi, and failed to put something in that one too, so I will also put something in that. Like I said, there'll be some surprises for the person who gets this. Here I have my belly band from book page. There's the shiny wings on that dragonfly. Here I have a journaling card made from index cards. It's got scrapbook paper, digital, book page, tissue paper, Tim Holtz clippings on both sides, and some washi tape. I think it turned out really neat. And then this Tim Holtz tiny paper clip is holding the belly band closed because it flips open for writing space. And it's been inked, it's got washi, it's got this paper, and it's got the digital and dictionary and book page and ledger paper and more washi. And so actually the clip doesn't have to go on that side. It would be easier to get to it if I put it on this side. So let's do that. Let's put it up here where the digital is. Give it just a little more strength. and that belly band. I think I said that already. Here's my library card pocket. I did not use a digital to make it. I just made it out of my head. And here's another piece of that birthday card with the poppies. This has book page, obviously, sticker, more book page, digital, paper pattern, tissue, washi, cardstock, ink, all kinds of stuff. And you could turn it like that, but it also opens up for hidden journaling space. And that's avocado paper right there. And more washi tape. This is scrapbook paper. Here is, let's see, another Dad's Bank envelope, which I made out of book page. I glued 2 book pages together, laid out the pattern, traced it on there, and then made it. And it has washi tape and doily and napkin applique. There we go. And it's been inked, and it's got this paper flower with a button. We have this journaling card that if I don't pinch where the card is while I'm pulling it out, it'll come out. It's got sheet music and a digital, and it's been inked. And then this opens up, and I know I put something in here because I had to keep cutting it down. Here I have a journaling card that's on dictionary page again. Sheet music, Dear Julie, Julie, digital inking, wrapped around. I like that. Let's get that in there again. And the flap tucks down behind the paper flower. Or you could put it behind this flap, either way, whichever way you like. I think that's holding on something else on the other side. Nope, it's just it's just stuck. Did I put it on too soon after the glue? There we go. All right, this has washi tape on it, and it flips out like that for writing space, and like that. And on the back side, this is the end of the second signature, and here's another journaling card from the gardening book. And another one from the gardening book. This one has an envelope on it, that, again, I forgot to fill it. So that'll go up here. My goodness, how many did I forget to fill? This is just a collaged page with dictionary and music and a digital and note paper and a little bit of ledger down here. On this page, I've got this pocket made from the paper pad and scrap paper music. I feel like there's a lot of writing space right there, so I left it quite open. This is held together with a little bit of Velcro. I have a video on how I made this one. This is my accordion pocket, and so I have in each of the little pockets just little bits of goodies that the recipient can use to decorate more of the pages or just use how they want. It is sticking off the page to create a tab. I loved that piece of scrap paper, and I think it's the only one I had. Here is, I think this is my waterfall. Yes, this is my waterfall. Washi, gold marker, ledger paper, tissue, inking, book page. It flips out for writing. It's got some ink splatter on it. It's on book page, I think I said that. And then here's a journaling card. This is from my coffee table book. So the information about the painting is on the back side. This is called Poppy Patterns by Mary Field Neville. And then there was a poppy painting on the back of the page, but I really didn't like the rest of it. But I liked that part, so I left it showing on the back side. I did remember to use my fancy scissors in a few places. Here is another double tuck, and it's got stenciling and book page. This was funny. I liked this little passage here, and so I tore it out and got ready to glue it down, and then I realized it said, sniffed at the new day's air. It smelled of damask roses and gilly flowers, of dewy grass, and then the part I tore out was, and sheep dung. I'm like, that doesn't sound so sweet. And so I tore it out and added the other part. Quickly she dressed and ran into the garden, intent only upon freedom. Got 2 journaling cards here made out of book page. This was an illustration, and there was a lady being led down a hallway, it looked like, with her hands tied. And I didn't like that, but the colors I thought went really well. And so I just cut out and made tags out of the unoffensive parts of the painting or illustration. And then this is, I don't know if this is one of Julie's or not. This is one I just do sometimes. And you just punch a hole, thread your ribbon through it, glue it down on this side and that side. And then there's journaling space on the back. Same deal with this one. You can see, if you know now, this is her dress, her long dress. And then this is a mulberry paper card that I have glued the envelope flap to. This is just decoration. It's digital here, and it's got the gold ink on the sides. This was a kit for making a card, a handmade card. And I was not very careful when I closed that. And it had the plastic sheet already, and it had the blank white card. And so I just made a collage on the inside of the plastic sheet with book page and stenciled paper and some scrap fabric and one of Julie's digitals with some inking and my distressed corners, and glued that in there as a collage. So it doesn't open up, that's sealed in. And then this is a Dear Julie, Julie digital, opens up, this flips over, and there's more of that mulberry paper. And I like, once again, the layering, because you can see just a bit of the lace here, and you can see the back side or the front side of the waterfall. And I love the play of this orange with this orange. And I've torn the page, once again, this corner, for the layers. Here I have a double tuck, and the way I made it, this card is a long card. I folded it over and then folded it back at an angle and did not glue all of it down. So this just slides right in there like that. I thought that was a cool effect. A little bit of scrap paper, a little bit of scrapbook paper, a sticker, a little bit of lace, book page, graph paper, inking. I like numbers, and so if I can keep a number visible, I will. This pocket is backed on book page, has inking and splattering. This is another of the paintings from the book, and it is backed with a guest check and some washi tape, masking tape covering up this. This is Poppies by Agnes Harrison. The masking tape allows you to still read it. It protects it, and it adds just a little bit to the whole collage effect as well. And the purple color, I think, or the purpley burgundy maroonish color of the Avon guest check, I think, just works. It just works. This is not a pocket. It is covering up a map on the back that is upside down and the wrong country. And it's covered with sheet music and the scrapbook paper that has been torn and inked. And I left part of the map page showing up here as well, because I liked that yellow border. And I just left this whole thing plain because poppies are a memorial flower as well. And it started with Normandy, and I found out at the Battle of Normandy, like the next year or the year after the battle was over, you looked out and you saw fields of poppies where all the destruction from the tanks and the armies and the gunfire and bombings and stuff disturbed the soil enough that the poppies were brought up to the surface and grew. And so sometimes through disturbing things, beautiful things can come. And so I felt like it was important to just leave that whole page right there. Let's see, ledger paper, avocado dyed paper. This is one of my pockets. And this whole page is like one big collage. Graph paper, music paper, washi, book page, digital, scrapbook paper, Tim Holtz clipping stickers, ink, inking on the edges, a whole bunch of stuff. And this is actually a corner. This is one of the tall pieces, and I tore around the flowers here, and then I cut around that flower there. And that's the journaling card, and so it goes with that. On this side, I have a side pocket. This butterfly, I used my pearl crayons, pearlescent crayons, and colored in the flower, and then took my water brush and I traced around the edges of the butterfly and on its body, and so it got a little bit of water damage, and I just kind of like the way that that looked. Got ink and ink splatter and book page and the digital, and this is an illustration from the book, and so I just framed it on some black cardstock. Here's Dear Julie, Julie digital, and again I added poppies to this whole field right here, and I don't know if it'll show up on camera, probably not, and so I will add a picture right here of a close-up so maybe you can see them. And then I added some gold Sharpie marker, just adding dots at each side, and some, let's see, that's some of the book page on the back, an actual blank page. More of the poppy paper, and again, I just like that whole look right there. Here's the third signature, center with the ties. This is a scrap of avocado paper with a sticker, real simple to make that tab. This was cut off with my punch, let's see, that I think I used in my mini challenge in the challenge. And so I just cut that scrap of avocado paper to be the right size to back that, inked all of that, and then glued it together to make a tab. I have another tab here on the scrapbook paper, graph paper with a sticker, and this is fold over pocket, and I think I showed a video, yes, I showed that in a video. It's got washi tape and book page and music sheet and dictionary page and the translucent paper that I backed on more dictionary page. I have a video for that as well. Dear Julie, Julie Digitals, ink splatter. It's a busy, busy piece. And inside that, I have this journaling card that is on a contract score pad. Opens up, it's got some sheet music, washi tape, printer paper, ledger paper, oh my goodness, and a Dear Julie, Julie digital that just tucks inside like that. And then behind that, I just made it a belly band, dictionary page here. And this is more of the birthday card. I don't have much room up there because I'm trying to cover up my mess that I've torn around, fussy tearing, which I learned from Julie, and put on a Dear Julie, Julie digital, inked around the edge, and then ink splattered with my Spectrum Noir Onyx Black. Backed it with ledger paper and a stamp and washi tape and some more ink splatter. I just think that turned out really pretty. And the pink picks up on the pink. I like it. Another little collage here. It says the happiest moment. Here is another illustration, and this part is from the book. This part is from the coffee table book. This is a Dear Julie, Julie image. I've got gold Sharpie pen around the edges. And on the back, I have the information, the artist information for this part. And I'm not showing the whole thing there. There's a story behind this, and you'll see it in just a couple of pages. But you see all these people sitting over here on blankets on the hillside. let's see, washi tape ledger. This one I used medical tape. And I went back and forth. I'm not sure which one I like better, the masking tape or the medical tape. Let's see, ledger paper, and here's the other side of that picture. Now, you're going to have to imagine what it looked like because I did not take a picture. But this is from a sad story. Very sad. It's a Sunday afternoon. This company's owners have invited all of their miners and their families to a picnic. Told everybody, you know, just come to the picnic. And then they only brought food for themselves. Everybody else thought that it was going to be provided by the company because it was a company thing. And so they're sitting over here. They're all hungry because they're poor miners, these kids, and they're staring at these people with their abundance of food. I had to split it up because when you split it, it doesn't look so sad. And you've got kids over here, they could be looking over this flower meadow. And you got people over here enjoying a picnic. And I just had to add cast of characters here. So I've got a piece of digital, and a digital, and a digital, and a digital. A little bit of the map page showing because this is France down here. Let's see, and it says France right there. A little bit of lace. Tim Holtz clipping sticker. Let's see, on the back side I have a pocket. I have one of my distressed corners. Did I say distressed or destroyed earlier? I'll have to figure out what I want to call it and then leave it at that. And this is a digital that I've inked and then I stamped with my stencil. It had 2 holes, and so I just ran some ribbon through there, and then I did the stamping with my stencil on the back side as well. And let's see, I just didn't bother with covering up that part because it's upside down. It's a little bitty bit. I think it still works. Here's my other end leaf paper, and I created 3 pockets. Down here, I have book page and some of my drop cloth paper, I guess I'll call it. It's tissue. It's got just a little bit of a gold sheen in it and a little bit of blue. Some music page. This page is glued to one of the scrapbook papers. This is cute. This is so cute. And I think this is from Nevermore Creations in her collection of images. And it's got washi tape. I've backed it on a piece of the birthday card that, you know, it had birthday words on it, but I liked the green. And I just liked the poppies being held by the pig on the other pig, going down the road with another pig down here waiting. I have no clue what that's all about, but it's just funny. And then here's the second pocket. And here I just have a journaling tag that I have torn and stamped and or stenciled and added a bit of fabric to. And then I have yet another pocket. This was cut off from another thing that I made. And here's a vintage calling card. And apparently it cost me $1 because I did not erase that. I'll just leave it on there. Oh, and gold Sharpie around the edges. On this page, this, like I said, is the poppy page. I just added some ledger paper. Here I've got a Julie digital on book page, inked with washi and some lace and some gold Sharpie marker added. It flips out, and I have lined paper and book page. I just had the word look right there. And I think this is another piece of book page right there. And then I just added some sheet music onto this to have the flap without having to have it wrap around the page. Again, another shiny winged dragonfly. This is one of the book pages, surprisingly, a plain red sheet of book page that I've splattered on and inked the edge, have music paper and a Dear Julie Julie digital, and it's on a piece of cardstock that I used my scissors on and inked. Added lace on both sides of it. Have my thumb notch here so I can pull out this ledger paper and an extra piece of that scrapbook paper. And then the lace shows through on this side as well. This is just a collage right here that I have used the stencil stamp on. This bulldog clip is holding this piece closed. This is from another birthday card. And I've added one of Julie's butterflies and some sheet music and a little bitty scrap of red lace. And I cut out, once again, the happy birthday. I just cut around the flowers. This flips open, and I have ledger paper, gold, Sharpie, ink, stenciling. I think this is a digital stamp, part of the book page. And then it flips open this way, and I have book page, washi tape, stenciling, ledger paper that flips open, and a sticker and book page, and book page. And then on this side, the graph paper, let's see, it's a different piece of graph paper, so it's a little different. This graph paper is part of this when I made it, and I wrapped it around, so it's not a different piece. I wrapped it around and made a pocket. This is another painting from the coffee table book. It is called Cat and Bird, but those are definitely poppies, by Gregory Latinsky. And I punched that number out of the page. This is under masking tape. And then I have another vintage postcard, says Best Wishes. And it's 1911. And I just thought those colors matched that color so well. I'm gonna put my bulldog clip on this one since it's the other side of the page. Here's my fabric flip. This is from a sari, a long piece of sari that I've actually used in a few projects. And this is just a piece of fabric, but look how good that looks. Used my pinking shears on the bottom. This is a digital from Dear Julie Julie. This is a contract score pad sheet with 2 stickers on it. And then here I have book page and dictionary page and napkin and washi tape and inking and music page and sewing pattern tissue. This creates a pocket because this is supposed to be a pocket, and in that pocket I have tucked. Now I do wrap the flap around on that, so I'll show you that real quick, or I'll show you afterwards. This is a, what is this, a flap down envelope, I think. Did I forget to put anything in there? And there's another one that's empty. Ah! Tissue pattern paper, book page, scrap of music paper, I think. It doesn't have any music on it though. Some washi tape, the Dear Julie Julie digital, Tim Holtz clippings, and another scrap of tissue paper. Let's see, yep. And I made a pocket, goes this way, out of an index card. I just used my punch, my rose edger, but I didn't edge all the way. I just made one punch, rounded the corners, stenciled on that, tucked in this little card, which might be hard to journal on, but you could probably journal between the hearts. That would be kind of cool. And I'm going to stick this back in there, or at least across the page, so you can see what it looks like on the back. Just like that. I love how those two match. Of course, I had to leave the page number showing. And this is the last page of the third signature with another postcard. And this one says Poppy is consolation. So I've got 2 Poppy cards that say consolation, one that says I dream of thee. I don't know if those 2 go together or not. It says, compel me not to toe the mark, be ever prim and true, but rather let me do those things that I ought not to do. And then this one has no year, just says Miss Belvis from Aunt Patty. So I don't have a clue on that. I know it's old. And then here you can see how I covered up the hidden spine with the fabric. I tucked in one of the Poppy pages, washi tape, a Dear Julie Julie digital here and here. And this is book page, one of the illustrations, and it's just a tree. I covered up the rest of it. And it is actually a pocket. You could put something in there if you wanted. And then it's inked, and I showed the outside of the back, and then there's the back of it. There we go. There we go. And see, that's not so bad. It closes down to pretty much straight from the cover. I mean, if I don't hold it closed and just let it go like that, standing up, it's 4.5. Laying down, it's 3.5. And if I put a closure on it, it would be 2 inches. And that is because there is a whole bunch of stuff in it. All right, so that is Poppy. This is going to a very special person. And so I am not going to tell you who it is. They'll find out when they get it. Thank you for joining me today. What was your favorite part? What would you like to know more about? Ask me in the comments. Give me any questions or insights or thoughts that you have. Just remember to be kind, always. Bye.